What is going on, guys? Jock here and welcome to our APA Wi-Fi final. We are finally here, and sadly this is a showdown recreation. We DC'd when the battle was over. It was just, you know, the end game. The winner had already been decided, sadly, but the DC meant that none of us were able to get the replay code, so we had to do a showdown recreation after we paper battled in Discord afterwards to decide the winner, even though it was already over. So we are playing D-Pad, who had a fantastic season. I think he topped his division, topped his conference. I think we both came into this replacing coaches, so these aren't even our own drafts. So I think we both had fantastic seasons, but obviously we want to do as well as possible. We want to win this. No offense to D-Pad, but we want to destroy him, really. So going into this battle, I was very worried about the matchup. As you can see, I have very little for Terrakion, very little for Swallow, very little for Volcanion. Absol could sweep me in the right circumstances, so the building was hard. I built a few teams myself. Hugo helped me build a team, and in the end it was after Hugo built a team on his own, I built two teams. Me and Panther ended up taking the best parts of like the three teams and made this final team here, which is, so we'll run through the team that me and Panther decided to put together, which has parts of all three teams, I think. And it's Rock Polish 3 attacks Cobalion with Lumberry. It has Ironhead Close Combat and Stone Edge, so it basically hits everything super effectively apart from Cofagrigus. So if we can get chip on, like the necessary chip on all the mons and then kill Cofagrigus, this has a very good chance of just completely sweeping through his team and being a really good late game win con. We have our 3 attacks Sub Mega Alakazam with Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam and Substitute. Again, if we can get our substitute up, it means we can even kill the Mimikyu and the Absol if need be. And again, it basically just does massive damage to everything else, apart from Volcanion, which can maybe take 2 hits or so. Then we have our physically defensive Amoonguss with enough Spadef to take a modest Specs Boom Burst from his Swallow, and the rest in physical defense, which is here just to take on sort of Absol, take on Terrakion a bit. I think it's just Giga Drain, Spore, Toxic, and I can't remember the other moves, so off the top, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it's not Sludge Bomb, it was Toxic, Spore, Giga Drain, oh god, I can't remember. Then we have our Zydog Banded with 3 attacks and Outrage, 1000 Arrows, Extreme Speed, and then we had Glare, because he had a Gliscor that I wanted to paralyse before Toxicorp. Then we have a Spadef Jellicent with Shockwave, Scald, Shadow Ball, Scald and Shadow Ball just for stab from ones like Cofag, Terrakion, and just to do damage. And then we have Shockwave to break a sub on a sort of bulky substitute Volcanion, and then we just have Recover, obviously. Then we have our AV Meloetta, enough defense to take a +2 play rough from Life Orb, Mimikyu, and the rest sort of with a little bit of special attack, and then some Spadef. So getting into the battle, I was really scared of Volcanion, so I wanted to counter lead the Volcanion because I knew it was the biggest threat to my team. And like, there was obviously, like, if he got up a sub, it basically meant I'd have to sack my Jellicent just to get rid of the sub, because he could then like use his Z move and I'd be so low, but I'd need to break the sub, I couldn't recover, and then he would just probably be able to pick me off with a Fire Blast, I would assume. So I lead Jellicent as he leads his Cofagrigus, and I just Shadow Ball to scout damage here. And in the actual battle, this bit's a little bit off. We basically play for the same damage, but the turns aren't exact, but all mons come out with the same damage. As I said, this is a recreation, but what I picked up from this was a Max Spadef Cofag, and with Nightshade, Wisp, Shadow Ball and Pain Split. So here we just get, our Jellicent came out of this and counter on a little bit less, but that doesn't matter, and our Alakazam takes about the exact same. It was about 40 to 45% in the actual battle, so although the turns weren't the exact same, the damage was all done the same. So we Shadow Ball to pick this Cofagrigus off, and that's really good for Cobalion. Cobalion's already looking like a massive threat, but Mimikyu comes in here as he makes a really good double tap, so knowing that my Amoonguss is going to come in. But I Giga Drain here just because I need to get the damage for Extreme Speed, knowing that he's probably going to SD. If he knocks off, it's not going to do very much, but here I can't let Amoonguss go down. I need Amoonguss to be healthy for Terrakion, so I sack off my Jellicent and we bring in Zygarde. So he switches into the Mimikyu, and I had seen he'd been playing quite aggressive, so as I switch into Amoonguss here, he's been playing well, so I thought he was going to keep up offensive pressure by going into Swallow, so I make the double into Meloetta as he U-turns out. That does a chunk, but obviously it keeps us here, and I Dazzling Gleam because I was going to play 50-50, like I could Psyshock or I could Hyper Voice obviously for stab, but I knew it was going to be Mimikyu or Absol to come in, so Dazzling Gleam was just a play because Dazzling Gleam picked off Absol and it also broke Mimikyu's disguise. So I'm guessing he didn't expect me to have the Dazzling Gleam or whatever. Maybe he thought I would just click one of my stab moves and he was expecting Side Shot, but we were able to pick off Absol, which is a massive threat to our team, and it's good. It means that Amoonguss was checking 3 Pokemon before, so again this is quite another big play. He brought his Cobalion in where only Choice Banded could kill my Meloetta, Choice Band close combat, and even then it was like a 50-50 roll at the HP I was at, so I was going to stay in. I thought about staying in to just kill this Terrakion with Psychic, but when I realised that, wait, he can't kill me, but he's chosen to brought this in, it made me think he must have the Z move. So we go into Amoonguss and see that does 74%, that's a lot, so we have to double here to get some regenerate, and I go Cobalion knowing that he's going to Stone Edge, and in the battle he did Stone Edge, but he missed it, so the easiest way was to recreate was just to get the Poison Jab in case the damage came back to bite later on in the game, and I double back out to my Amoonguss to eat up a close combat, and here Amoonguss is no longer in range of a close combat, so I Giga Drain here. I am thinking maybe he wouldn't make the same switch to Swellow, but he does, and it puts me on a bit of a back foot because Swellow is a god. But I go Meloetta, and this turns out he's not Specs, so at this point I was assuming maybe Silk Scarf or something, and there we go. So I Psychic as he goes back into Terrakion. So again, Meloetta is 2 50-50s with Meloetta, which has come out really clutch, and he uses a Go Amoonguss, and he misses an edge. He didn't miss the edge in the battle, but again, we didn't want to recreate at this point because the way I switched my Amoonguss about to get Regenerator, it doesn't come into the battle. So I sacked my Cobalion here, even though Cobalion had a really good chance to win the endgame, everything else was just as important, and I knew how I had my game plan one out of my head. So here I go back into my Alakazam and we Side Shot with Swellow, and he's down to 2 Pokemon, but this gives Mimikyu a chance, and at this point I realised I might have thrown the game away knowing that Mimikyu could still win. So here you'll see Shadow Claw does 57%, which we Spore it, and in the actual battle I was about, you would have seen I would have been about 20% lower, but that's why even though there's a chance I could have lived another Shadow Claw, I still switch out because that's what I'd done. And here, so you'll see he wakes up and uses Dream Eater. That's because he stayed asleep in the battle, and this was the only way we could recreate that again. So again, this is the point where I'm just gonna play. This is the point where we DC'd. So I want to explain to people watching this why we decided that I had won even though the game wasn't over. So you'll see here that he Shadow Claws does massive damage to my Amoonguss, and I kill off Mimikyu obviously. So he brings in his Volcanion, which we've seen nothing about, and he clicks Flamethrower to kill off my Amoonguss. So at this point, I said to D-pad, I was going to go into my Zygarde and click Outrage, because I lived 2 Flamethrowers from Scarf Volcanion, which is the only way he would have outsped me. So the only way he won was if he burnt me or crit me on that first Flamethrower, which wasting another 40 minutes of our time when he didn't even have internet wasn't, like, he felt like going for like 6% chance. Wasting all that time was not worth it, because he never told me his item, but I said I'm going to come in and Outrage, because if you're Shucka Berry, Outrage puts you in range of Alakazam, so I still win. And if you're Scarf, I live 2 anyway, so 2 Outrages will kill you. So that's why at this point we decided that I had won the game. And just to prove it, we done it in the Showdown recreation just to show you that even though me and D-pad decided, you can see that does 66%, and he's actually not Scarf, so he was Shucka, and that's why clicking Outrage was the best play, and as you see Zam picks it off. So even though the battle, we didn't get to show that off because I told D-pad I was going to Outrage, we both decided that there was no way he could have won that, and obviously he knew when I said Outrage that I had won. So thanks to D-pad for making it easy with the recreation and whatnot. It wasn't actually D-pad that done this recreation, it was Hugo. He sent us the team and me and Hugo done it, but GG to D-pad again. You had a fantastic fantastic season. I hope we get to battle in next season, and we are taking part in APA Wi-Fi next season. Our draft analysis / first video should be up in probably about 2 weeks, so look out for that, because we will be going out to defend our crown. But thank you so much for watching. This has been Jock, your champion of the APA Wi-Fi. Thanks for watching.